This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have author, musician, and former member of Korn, BRIAN Head Welch.
What's happening? How you
Brian,
doing?
how you doing, brother?
Good, man. I did LA Ink yesterday, and I got, check this out. Corey Miller was on my leg yesterday, drilling and making it raw. So
I'm friends with his sister. She was my personal trainer for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's a small world.
Yeah, and I'd say something to her because I guess she just read my book and liked it. So I tell her I said hi.
What was your youth like growing up in Bakersfield, California?
It was all about music and drinking beer and hanging around with the guys, you know.
What were some of the highlights of your time with Korn?
The Woodstock performance when we played in front of like 200,000 people and DirecTV, and we just nailed it, man. We nailed the show, and MTV came up to us, wanted us to play the VMAs, and it was just like, can't get any higher than #1, you know, and it was just crazy. So that was the highlight. To me, it was like, I made it to the top, you know, now, and we all climbed here together, and you can't go, either you stay there or you kind of go down a little bit, you know, it's crazy.
Rebecca was your wife. My favorite story in the book, I don't know why I like this so much, is the part where you find out that she's going out with some skinhead guy, and you send your boy over there to like handle things because you're paying for the house.
Yeah.
Then these skinheads are like taking over your house that you're working for.
Yeah, I'm out on the road, you know, and I'm working. Well, it's play, but I'm getting paid for it. But it's hard to be away from your family and stuff like that. So when she starts wigging out, hanging around with the skinhead guy, I was losing my mind. You know, you see all these TV shows nowadays of people snapping and like having people hiring this guy, you know, to do this, and it makes it, I guess, not as hard to do when you're not involved directly. So I was thinking all kinds of crazy stuff, and my boy went over there. He brought a gun, and it was just nuts. And I wanted to kill this guy because he was taking my wife away, and I knew he was like brainwashing her, you know, and the drugs and everything. And that's exactly what happened. You know, he ended up just thumping on her, you know, worse than I did. And she had a really hard time with this guy. So that was a crazy time, though.
At what point in your life did you realize that Jesus Christ is God?
I didn't really understand it all in the beginning. Even I just felt a spiritual world like open up, you know, around me, and I felt heaven was real. I felt God was real, and I didn't know how it meant. Jesus Savior, Jesus Son of God, Jesus God, Jesus, all that. I was like, all I know is this is real. And my life is going to change. I'm going to look at my daughter and tell her, I'm going to be home with you, baby. No more nannies, no more touring. It's your dad and you. And her face just lit up, you know. That's what I knew happened. I'm learning as I go right now. And it's just, Christ is like, he's the image of God. He came down here to do his thing so that we could be one with God. And as we live on earth, not when we die. And that's the cool thing. Because I did all kinds of drugs. I partied. I toured the world, but having a relationship with an invisible God and seeing how he speaks like in trippy ways, like that's more fun than snorting lines of meth to me. You know, it's like, whoa, this is crazy. And I dig into that now. And, you know, I do. It's a personal thing. I don't go shove it down people's throat as much anymore, but I sing about, you know, stuff that happened to me in my songs, you know, but I just share. You know, it's not like I'm trying to convince people, you know. I'm just sharing my life. If I sing about drug addiction, I sing about that. And if I sing about like getting spiritually awakened, I sing about that.
Or what was the first reaction from the other members of Korn when you accepted Christ
and left the band? Well, everybody thought I went crazy because one day I was a rock star looking dude with all these braids and stuff, and then the next thing you know, I'm like in Israel, and I got like a white gown with curly hair and a beard. They're like, this guy flipped his freaking lid. And so once I got past all that and you know, came back down to reality, and you know, it just it was a joke, but I think it helped their next record because they got so much press, you know. It was like Korn and Head, all this stuff, and their album came out. It was like bam, you know, it was big. So it was all good, you know, and they were a little sore in the beginning, but now it's all good.
What drove you to write the book, Save Me From Myself?
I was looking for a record deal, and my manager at the time came back with a book deal. And I was like, what's this? He's like, bro, you're an author. If you want to share your story. I was like, I'm a musician. And he's like, well, I think you're going to be an author first. And I was like, all right, you know, books. You're like, what's that? You know, I'm a musician. I wasn't smart with writing and reading and stuff when I was a kid. So, but once I started, you know, I just poured myself into it. And like 75,000 words or more later, it was like, wow, my story's down here. And I had a lot of people help me just put it to where it needs to be, you know, and help with the punctuation and stuff like that.
What was the inspiration for the cover art for your CD, Save Me From Myself?
This guy, Travis Smith, got a picture of me just sitting on a chair like this, and all of a sudden, he sent it back, and it was like my head was tilted, blood coming out of my eyes, and an angel thing behind me. And when I saw it, I was like, wow, that symbolizes like everything. Like I was killing myself with drugs, and I needed to get, you know, I needed help, and it looked like that thing was helping me or something, but it just was trippy. And I said, that's it. That's the album cover. And he nailed it, man. And then he, as I was leaning on the chair, he put a little cross there, so like I'm leaning on the cross, you know, and that was symbolized, you know, everything. So it was really cool, man. I'm proud of that guy.
What is your view on the controversy over the Flush video?
To me, I got to be real, and it's all good. You know, conservative people are conservative people, and I understand that they got brought up a different way than me, but we got to face the facts here. And that video to me is facts. You know, the drugs are out there, methamphetamine's growing, and that stuff in the video symbolizes meth, and those girls and, you know, getting all freaky on each other, that's all over the place, you know. And it's like, I'm not scared of it, and I'm not scared to like tell it like it was, and you know, give a message in a different way. I don't want to do no cheesy stuff. Like there's a lot of cheesy stuff out there, you know, and I want to do real stuff that like makes you like gulp and like feel something inside.
Yeah.
You know? So, but I totally expected people to like get a little vocal about it, and I didn't expect people to pull my records off shelves. There's a couple stores, just a couple, that took my CD out because of the video, and I think that's wrong, because my CD is full of hope, you know, and but you know, everyone's got a choice to do what they want. So,
and that brings us back to the song "Die Religion Die."
Die.
So that song is pretty much talking about people that are kind of under the law.
Yeah, totally. So you get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, under the law, you can't do this, can't do that. That's, you know, they take the scriptures and they like are so like they worship the scriptures like that were written 2,000 years ago, like where it says this one person sent me a letter and said, did you know that your video is an abomination to God and you're promoting all this? And I'm like, you don't even understand, you didn't even watch the rest of it, you know. There's a message in it, and it's just, you know, they'll say Romans this and that says it's abomination, and it's like, dude, did you know that Christ died for all that? You know, did you know that he has mercy for them people? Where's your mercy? You know, and it's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's cool because I feel like I got taken through all that stuff to learn, you know. I experienced firsthand personal relationships with people like that, and relationships within myself with that, because we're all born with that religious thing, you know, especially when you come into God, when you give your life to God, you're like, first thing is like, oh, that's evil, you know, and you got to get past that.
What was the best part of working with musicians Josh Freese and Tony Levin?
Josh and Tony were just, they're amazing players. Watching them play on my album was awesome, but then watching them just how they are and just spending time with them as friends and stuff. And Josh was just funny and crazy into his funny emails and like Photoshop and stuff. And Tony Levin was just telling me about how he takes care of his mom and just hanging out with the real people, because we're all just people, you know. And it was cool to see how humble they were.
What inspired the song Adonai?
Adonai, crystal meth was my master before, and when I heard what Adonai meant, it's a Hebrew word, and it means my master, God, my master. So I just switched to, I don't know, I just wanted to make a upbeat, punky, fast song about, you know, God, and in a way that doesn't say God, you know, Adonai. It's just, it's a cool name.
Rebel.
rebels about abused children, rebelling from abuse and turning to a life of positivity instead of drugs, gangs, you know, all the crime or whatever so many kids do.
Will there be a tour, and if so, who will be your backing band?
We're going to work on that next. I don't know if I could afford those musicians, you know. So no, I don't know. We're just going to see, you know, see what happens. We're going to put that together in the next like a few weeks.
Well, Head, it's been great having you on the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, man. You rock.
Right on, man. Thank you.
No problem. All right, Blairing Out with Eric Blair show with BRIAN Head Welch signing off.
The Blairing Out show.